Hey folks, how are you doing? Leo, how are you? Adrian, let me know if you can hear me. And sorry, but Adrian, you arrived actually right at the end, just when I was doing the raid today. Let me know if you can hear me first, and then set things up here. How are you guys doing? Kenny Oz, how are you doing? How are you doing? Apologies, dude. It's going to have to be in English, but you're very welcome. So tonight I am going to make some synth stuff. I got more of these Volca synths, and I wanted to see if it was actually going to work making a cover, one of those Sega covers, and I'll see what game I start with. But because Sega, and especially the Mega Drive and the arcade machines, had those FM type of sounds, because of the Yamaha chips that were in there, I just thought those guys would be very appropriate for something like that. Let me just show you here. Like, that's very Mega Drive-y, Sega-y. Like, Punky, how are you doing? God, everybody's here. Yeah, so we're gonna do some Sega, hopefully Sega type covers, and it's gonna be probably tedious, probably painful. Hopefully we'll get there. So let me just set up. I'm gonna load up a MIDI in my DAW that you see on the top left corner, and I'm just trying to think what type of tune I want in there. Let me load up something. My MIDI's here. Dune, something Sega, some Outrun, something Outrun. Passing Breeze, there you go. Passing Breeze would be nice. So first things first, we're going to, and I think the media isn't quite exact anyway, so we're gonna have to do some editing. So we're just gonna paste the media here for now. Right now we're not gonna hear anything. I need to do a couple of couple of things. So here I'm going to need something for you to hear. So the Real Stream plugin. Yeah, Passing Breeze would be nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, actually a Sonic, Mega Drive Sonic would be nice. They would make nice sounds. But I'm just gonna try, because I knew Passing Breeze only has so many channels. It just has 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it just has a limited number of channels, and I think these two are exactly the same. This is just little embellishment. So we've got probably what? That's probably a bass line, chords, and main melody is played on this, and the drum section, which is fine. So we'll be able to have chords on one of them, the bass on, well, another one, melody here, maybe combine that with one of those guys. And we have a bass here as well, and we have those two Roland synths and the which would be why have we got an echo on this? Oh yes. Perfect. Okay, let's get started. So I need the Real Stream plugin here. Standalone, just to hear the MIDI. We're actually not going to use that output afterwards, but it's just so that you can hear something first. Local broadcast, that should work. Yeah. And then here we're going to take all these channels. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. All these channels and send them to just the standard MIDI wavetable. Whoa. Oh, lovely MIDI, lovely MIDI. So right now we don't want that. We want channel 10 for this. Actually, the drums. So on MIDI, all the drums, whichever instruments or MIDI standard or MIDI equipment you have, the drums will always be on channel 10. It's sort of the standard channel for MIDIs. If you output the MIDI on any other channel, it'll try to patch the MIDI through one of the instruments that you have selected. Usually it's the piano by default or whatever other instrument. It's going to be the piano, but channel 10 is always drums. Oh, actually, Kalios, does it actually redeem the Sega? I don't think I have that enabled here on this. Just let me solve that single screen chat box. Where's the yeah, apologies, I don't have that enabled. Let me just fix that. Almost. Now try again. Let's try again. There you go. Pointless, absolutely pointless, but it works. Let's cover my face altogether. Yeah, this is what these do. And oops, you have a few. You've a lot of Simon stuff. I usually use these on the Banjo Gallery stream, and then I have my own ones. Anyway, so where was I? So MIDI is okay, but it just sounds rough. So we're gonna patch all this MIDI to these synths, and I'm gonna try and find instruments that sort of fit here. Epic stuff almost perfect lined up with at the camera window. Oh, I see what you mean. What's this window here? Do I have the sniffles? The voice sounds very deep tonight. No, it's probably this mic. This mic is just sounds. I don't know. It sounds like you're talking properly into a radio. It's one of those Shure SM7B, something like that. Passing sneeze. Okay, let's find what's what. So let me disable that. Is that enabled as an input? Yes. No, so I'm looking for. Now that's the part that's going to be kind of weird. I think this is 9. Nope. Oh, this top one should be 40 now, if I remember. Yeah. So I've patched this now. So this line should be played on this guy here. Yes, absolutely. And it sounds terrible. So we're going to find an instrument that fits now. And I'm also patching this keyboard onto this synth here. So this should be a bass line. If I remember there's a bass, an E bass type of stuff, we might be able to... Oh, that could work with a bit of distortion as the chords. E piano distorted. No, that's horrible. Organic should be. I think I saw bass, E bass. Oh yeah. That sounded okay. I like the E piano. We're gonna use that as a just as a doo-dum 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 doo-dum. Exactly. Is this mic super light? By the way, I can reduce it slightly. Is that better? That should be maybe 8. Channel 8 on. I have, you don't see it, but actually you see on top, on the top right windows, there's a set of green and red lines right at the top of the of here, right here, tip of my finger. And this is it's a MIDI interface where I can patch up to 16 outputs or inputs, depending on whatever you want them to be, really. So right now, that's what I'm using to assign all those channels onto one of these synths. And I'm missing a lot of folks. I'm really sorry. Fixato, with Pete Mouse, we have Adrian, and with somebody else I missed. Sorry about that. No, that's the bottom one. I want. That's one of my Roland synths. So does this one? Actually, this one has different patches, so I'm not even. Let me lower everything slightly so you can hear me when I talk as well. Binkley, how are you doing? You're going to sleep. Fair enough. Have a good night. not gonna work. I need an E-piano type of sound, and then maybe I can modify that. I don't think this has one. Whoa! E-bass. I think the E-piano was... sorry, I think the E-piano was lower. I don't think this has one. I've seen different patches initially. Yeah. Oh, Outrun. Oh, that could do as a lead. Let's keep that for a second. Maybe I can find the E-piano on this then. It's funny, it sounds like a silence from F-Zero on SNES. Yeah, there is some FM synthesis on the SNES as well. You could probably redo some of the SNES sound on this. So right now I only have 3. You probably want like 5 or 6 of these, even though they're polyphonic, but to get different sounds, you know. So that's our bass again. But I'm using the bottom one now. There's a piano there, I just can't find it. Oh, there it is. Aha! It's out of tune somehow. The stream keeps creeping out. Or is that you? YouTube video seems totally fine. I'm not sure what you mean by creeping out. Did this thing go suddenly out of tune completely on me? Yeah, it did. Let's find it again. I'm not sure what happened. This thing just completely went out of tune. There you go. And that's handled by this guy. But first, before we do any of that, I want to get the drum sorted, and it's going to be a painful one because this TR-505 was made long before the standard was sort of adopted for channel 10 and where the drums should be on which note. So we're going to have to do some readjusting because this is what it sounds like now. So far, so good. Let me just do. So we got these guys are kicks. We got how many? Okay, long one, and then all these are super slow. Okay, this is going to be interesting. You having fun arranging song as fingerstyle as fair enough. That's interesting, actually. Yeah, while I'm doing some synth stuff. After Goran, you were trying to record something yourself. Purchase a mic, was giving it a go. It's kind of good. Well, you should share it. Share it if you have it somewhere. Share it. Share it here. If you have it uploaded somewhere or tomorrow, you're more than welcome to share it here, dude. Boop. Okay, so we're gonna patch this now over to this guy. Channel 13, I think, if memory serves. Or well, output 13. Channel 1. Yeah, that works. So now our instruments are completely, and this is correct. But our drum kick, our snare should be over there. So we're going to change that for all of this. And then our this. Oh, that should be one down. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. How are we going to do this? This is going to be awkward. This is going to be awkward. This is going to be very awkward. And what should you be actually? Let me duplicate that. We're going to send that to channel 10 of this guy. So we have a reference, and then let's redo this. I messed this up. Okay. And I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna paste this guy here. Should be the change version. And then you are going to be standard MIDI. I apologize if it's confusing. I'm just keeping this as a standard MIDI, so I have a reference when I want to match the some of the instruments and some of the more weird hidden ones. Let's keep going. We've okay. All of you guys, all of you are going over here. And I think it was all of these too were hi-hats. So were these guys. So were these guys. Something we could do is actually just change the velocity on, on all of them. How am I going to do this? I'm trying to select them all. Not going to happen. Okay. Just change the velocity slightly, just give us a more sort of bouncy feel compared to the louder one. Okay, and here we had that was it. Oh, interesting. We've two of the same. So that's it for these instruments. We have these guys. What were these guys? Let's just for the sake of our ears. Okay, so far so good. We need to figure out what was this guy? What are you, little guy? Good, you're a hi-hat as well. Fair enough. And what are you guys? Okay, low tom. It's gonna be. Yeah, I love the 505. I nearly got an RX-17 during the week, but the guy won't ship. It's on advert, and which would have been actually just perfect for something like this. Just replace the 505 with an RX-17, but yeah. So we got two of these symbols. So here and here. And where was the other one? Okay. And that's one anyway. Oh, was it? Oh. Always, Ollie. Always. So the first one was harder. And the second one was much softer. We're gonna use that and open. Even though I don't really like that, you know. That's kind of weird, isn't it? And 909 would give it a banging techno vibe. Probably not what I'm going for. No, but I could actually use just a kick, just a solid kick on this, just for the sake of using a kick. Actually, that's not like that. Sorry, I need to catch up with some of the chat here. Yura, how are you doing? It's Outrun. Yes, I'm redoing. I'm sending the MIDI to, and I'm reworking some of the MIDI because it's a bit funny. Sending that to Volca Korg Volca FMs. I've got 3 of them. I got a TR-505. We'll probably use a combination of this and this for the lead. Maybe enhance that with some slightly deeper bass. We'll see. Okay, let's keep going. I want to finish this this drum section, just tidying this drum part before I continue, because if I don't now, I won't. It's that simple. So original MIDI, meh. TR-505. But I need to use that as a reference point for... So we got all this section here. Ah. So we need to find toms. What? Always. No, why aren't you playing? I'm concentrate, Ollie. Concentrate. So this instrument here, this one. Is there any other? I don't think I have these big toms and the... No, I don't think I do. Oh yeah. I have only got 2 actually. I'm gonna have to cheat somehow, just make a... We only got... We got a mid one. Where is it? No. Where's that mid tom? Or high tom? It's actually a high tom. Is it implemented? Otherwise, actually, Adrian, would you know on the 505? We're missing this one, and I'm not sure where it is. And this is the closest one. Is there a mid tom in the 505? Yeah, there's a high. But I can't seem to find it on the MIDI. I've only got two. Like at the low and the mid one. It could be that the mid one is actually a pitched, or the high one is actually a pitched mid. Like I'm using the conga here, but or the timbale, sorry. Actually, where is the conga? Nowhere to be seen. It's gonna have to do. According to Google, 5.5 has a mid tom, but you can't find the channel. Yeah, so whatever. Yeah, we're missing one of them, but yeah, that's odd. Like in a mix, this will pass. You know what I mean? Sorry. Feel the original has more of a piano feel, like yeah. Let's not get distracted. Let's finish our drums. Oh, bollocks. Okay. I'll tell you what we do. We'll cut this. This is the significant part we need to worry ourselves about, and then Yeah, it's going to repeat all the way there. So what we'll do is just we'll just worry about this section here, which will be much more manageable, and then we'll just loop it. 505 is a mid-tom, but you can't find the channel. Yeah, I'm just rereading that. Press the pad on the 505 itself. You can see what MIDI note comes up. No, I don't get I don't get any indication of a MIDI note. The 505 is very, very rustic. You know what I mean? Like it's an old school LCD display. It's not even backlit, and I don't think it's fast enough to do anything like that. Is it running in its MIDI into Ableton? No, it's an original 505. It's this guy. Is it running its MIDI into Ableton? No. So I'm just sending the MIDI to the. Does it have no MIDI out? It has a MIDI out, but that's not the setup I have. What I have is a MIDI in into all of these, and I'm sending the MIDI from Ableton to these guys. So Ableton isn't making any sound. What we are hearing is the sound directly coming out of my mixer here. Unless I switch to, for instance, this channel, which is the standard Microsoft MIDI wavetable, in which case you're hearing the MIDI coming from Ableton. Other than that, but I'm just using that as a reference point. Other than that, there's no MIDI coming out of any of these. It's purely being run by Ableton with MIDI in, and whatever you're hearing is pure hardware then. You see what I mean? Like it's not sending MIDI back in. The only reason I want to send MIDI back in if I was playing with the keyboard on these, which isn't really practical, doesn't quite make sense, and actually most of these don't really have MIDI out. Anyway, you can mod them for MIDI out. I know there's mods that exist online, and people go crazy for these, just modding every single Korg Volca they have. I don't think it's a practical. I don't think it serves any purpose. It's only like a 16-step sequencer on this. You get a Korg SQ1, you have that sequencer there anyway. And why would you have one of these if you're just going to use it as a sequencer? The interesting part of all of these is the sound that's coming out. Anyway. Yeah, no, it's okay. I kind of went into a big long rant there, but people doing stuff with these. But yeah, no, you see what I mean. So yeah, it's pure hardware sound we're hearing, which was the point of making these covers. Because otherwise, I could simply just use Ableton VSTs, do everything in software. But what's the fun in that? I think the whole point is to get these machines to make a sound by themselves. I'm essentially just using Ableton as a fancy sequencer. Really, that's what I'm doing. What's what here? How come I didn't... all these short ones should be hi-hats, actually. I'm nowhere near done here. Yeah, beat maps. There could be some sampling going on in there as well, or resampling, which I find surprising. But because we do have 16 channels. Okay, let's tidy this first because here. So we got a wood blocky thing here going on. God, there's 4 toms on this guy. How are we gonna solve that on 505? Should be like way high, so we'll. I think that's the best we have, really. I'm not happy about that. Oh. You have the manual of the 505 open here. God, I got a whole team of tech support on the stream. It's alright. I can figure it out after. Right now, I'm just trying to tidy it as best as I can for the sake of the stream. But yeah, it's an I have the manual here as well. Actually, I have the original manual. But yeah, it's a bit of a puzzle. Maybe it's higher up in the scale yet. It'll be sometimes things like that surprise you. Or lower, in fact. Like you feel like at C7, like there's nothing there. It's just not there, you know. I have a feeling it's just implemented in. You can change the note numbers for each drum sound. So fair enough. So it's a resampling that they have on the button. So there's only one sound, and you can resample it. And it's probably sent with a CC message or something like that, which is so what am I doing wrong here? I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Do. We're gonna loop that. Same issue here. We just need to replace the. Come on, play fair, play fair. We need to replace all. Where are you gone? Oh, here. All these guys. No. Did I mention I hate the zooming on Ableton? I'm getting used to everything, but the zooming is just it's a pain. It's a pain. And we just need to tidy that ending. Oh. Save covers, synths covers, Outrun. Yeah, FM is. keep selecting. Yeah, that was it. That was it. I think we're good. That's our MIDI tidied. And I didn't cry. Okay, cool. We can park that aside for now. I'm not going to worry about this guy. I'm going to worry about the melody yet. So that's standard MIDI. Which one were you? 13. So I think we're sending this to MIDI 8. Output 8 on our MIDI. Oh yeah. So why aren't you making a sound? Poor MIDI, you made it sound boring. Standard MIDI is very plain. All right, I'm seeing something coming out. Why? Bum 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 bum. Yo. Okay, we got something here, but why? Are we not on channel? What I mean? What's that humming going? Oh, I know. Okay. It's a bit too trumpety, isn't it? That's closer. So there's two leads. You can actually hear the latency between the software MIDI and the hardware MIDI, which is much faster. It's probably even more delay because one of them is going directly through Streamlab. The other one is hardware, is a software processed by Ableton as well. But let's see if we can send this to, what is it? Would it be 14? No, not 14. Interesting, actually. So because there's our polyphonic, I'm actually using the bass sound to play. Meaning I can probably be a bit more gentle on this guy. It's whiskey. So what? I don't know. I don't know. And let's see. Can I get a sort of? Roland's aren't exactly designed for that. Could I get maybe a piano-ish sound out of this? Probably not. But let's try anyway. I forgot which I know it's this channel output now. Channel 1? No. This would help. One is channel 16. Oh, we need our. That's the bass, but it actually works. I was actually going to use double the bass on that channel as well. I need to label my stuff properly, but for now. It just adds a little bit of obviously bass, but just a little bit more chunk. But it actually works as almost like a piano-like. Oh no, except, yeah. Except here, I need to. Yeah, people think Ireland is a whiskey country. Really, not really. I mean, there's some nice whiskeys here, but it's not really a whiskey country, at least in Ireland. I think Irish whiskies are probably more known outside of Ireland. I don't know what. It's probably some Jameson or something like that, or Powers or Powell's, whatever it is. But yeah, within Ireland, not a big whiskey country. Now we can probably lower the velocity on that. The problem with that bass is it's that's kind of weird actually, because the Volca bass is Yeah, it's a unison. It's not a polyphonic instrument, so it's yeah, it's not going to work. I need to use a different instrument because whenever the bass actually kicks in, that's why I removed the bass from here, but I need that back in for whatever. I'm going to use a different instrument than the bass for that. I need to use maybe one of the Rolands. Irish whiskey was one of the earliest distilled drinks in Europe. Yeah, I'm not sure what your point is here. And yeah, I mean, Adrian, if you're still here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, there are some people that have, whiskey every now and then, like in most countries, but it's just not I've never experienced anybody really being into their whiskeys in Ireland. Like whenever I go to France, I have a few friends that are really, really into their whiskeys, and they'll take out a few Scottish ones and Irish ones and all that. And every time I'm like, never heard of that, never heard of that. I think it's mostly an export thing, like I'll have a whiskey just to get tipsy quickly. That's really the goal here. It's never more refined than that. But you'll find that in a lot of country, like a lot of export probably are exports for a reason. It's because internally there's not much of an interest for it, except probably wine, French wine. There's very much an interest in it, and but then there's stuff that is very much appreciated in France that it's impossible to find exported outside, like Pinot de Charente and stuff like that. It's always a headache to get it imported anywhere. Triple Belgian beers, it's always hard to import them, or if you're not at least from continental Europe. You do find some of it, but it's just really, really, it can be tricky to actually get some imported. But yeah, as far as whiskey, I feel whiskey is one of those things that is usually an export product. What'll I use for this? Let's try first and find. I feel bad whenever my friend try to get me some nice whiskeys whenever I go back to France or different countries, and because it's like it's wasted on me. Like I'm not tasting whatever you're tasting. It's I'm a bit of a philistine when it comes to stuff like that. 12. So we're probably at yeah, this should be 11 here, and I think. I have it on a piece of paper. Got all my handy manuals here, and hastily made channel. So what have I got on 10? I've got a kick on 10. Of course, it's not going to work. And so on. Oh yeah. So that's the GX03. We don't need an echo on this at all. just need a tiny bit of bounce on this. Sorry, of release. It would make a beautiful sort of harpy type of sound, like high-pitched harpy type sound. Some dishes done. Welcome back. Sorry, I'm just gonna catch with the chat here. Interesting. You can't send some. I'm okay. It's not like we're deprived and we can't find a whiskey here, but it's. You know what? It'll be easier to find. I think what you'll find in shop is probably some Powers. Isn't that Scottish? Can't remember. You'll find some Jack Daniels. You'll find some Run of the Mill Paddy and some Jameson. And that's really about it. That's really about it. If you want anything else than that, you probably have to go to some specialized shops, which there are none of where I live. But yeah, I'm not. I enjoy whiskey. I usually mix it with a tonic as well, so it'll be completely wasted on me sending me any nice whiskey. Would that work? Something without the tune again. What? Some Belgian beers. I'm sorry. That's very nice of you. Terrible Fire sent me some beer recently. He found a website and he sent me the link to the website. So I can actually order some Trappist, some just variety of beers now. And I found a place that actually gets that Pinot de Charente I was talking about. So that's very, very nice and kind of you. I'm okay now. I know how to order some. So it's not so much the price, it's the availability or even being able to order them. So far, it hasn't really been possible. Brexit has been, for stuff like that, a hidden blessing for Ireland. A lot of our supplies are cut off, and it's tricky to get some things that used to be sourced from Ireland. But trades have opened towards places like mainland Europe, which weren't open. So I'm starting to see stuff in shops that is actually coming from France and Germany and different places. As opposed to just being straight from England. So we're my hope, and that's what I'm noticing. We're seeing a little bit more variety in shops. Some of the stuff is just hard to find or impossible to find now. That was coming from here, from England, but it's just a matter of the routes and the business reshuffling itself to make things, to replenish the supply chain. So, but I'm seeing stuff from mainland Europe, including websites that have started, like foreign websites, French websites, and Dutch website like that one that have started translating their websites and businesses and making it available for a lot more countries now, because a lot of the trade was going through England, even for mainland Europe, like coming over, it was actually more interesting to come to England. So yeah, always go to Belgium or no. So it's an interesting time, and my hope and what I'm seeing so far is that we're going to see a lot more variety and availability of stuff that just wasn't even here before. Every web shop has to be to ship within the EU. Yeah. Technically, I know. One of the problem is that a lot of the ordering forms are stuck to certain kind of regional standards. So I've been on French websites where I wanted to order stuff, and you select country as Ireland, and then it gets to the postcode, and it just expects the postcode in certain format, which is the French numerical format, and it won't accept stuff like Irish postcodes, which have letters in them. So there's still coding issues and hiccups like that. So we'll get there. But yeah, like technically they should offer shipping, but it's not so much the shipping, it's the translating the whole website as well, because if it was in German or Dutch, like I'll be fairly screwed. So yeah, but no, it's sort of a blessing in disguise. It's going to be painful for a few months, but I think all in all, it's going to be beneficial for at least variety in Ireland. Yeah. I had language shipment stuck in, then yeah, fair enough. Interesting package. Brexit screwed over a bunch of beer lovings who order a beer package for last demo party fix that. Yeah, and Terrible Fire tried to order from that site again, and you couldn't get any beers. A UK customer refused all the packages. Yeah, it's not going to turn out in their favors in the UK. That's the unfortunate truth. Yeah. I've stopped ordering anything from the UK because everything is subjected to taxes now, and it's a major pain. Like a lot of shipping companies actually do that well, and they let you pay taxes, shipping taxes and customs online. But there's stuff like UPS is a disaster. I've had so many arguments with them because UPS is sneaky. They actually deliver it, and then they ask you for sending you a bill, asking you for the money for the custom. The problem with that is normally they should ask you whether you want it or not, and if you don't pay the customs, it's sent back, and that's what most shipping companies do. UPS is sneaky. They deliver it, and then they ask you to pay for it. The problem is because if they deliver it, it means they've paid the custom tax themselves, so they charge you for that as well. So let's just say it's 15 euros for custom taxes. Well, they pay in advance and they want that back plus the money. So you end up paying 30 euros for a 15 euro tax. It's I've had so many arguments with them over the phone about it. They're both horrible here. It's so every time I get something, I just make sure it's not sent with FedEx. I've had okay experience. You can actually pay online with them, but yeah, UPS has been a disaster. And I'm explicitly, if I order something from the UK, I explicitly say that please don't send it with UPS. That's it's that. And if UPS is mentioned like the only option, I don't order it because it's just it's a nightmare. It's too much hassle, and it ends up costing you far too much. So it works out the same as the price. UK price. Amazon UK upfront custom charges is great, and they're reducing pretty much the VAT amount for the Irish customer right now. Still, they're gonna have they're gonna have to make an Amazon Ireland at some point, because it's just that it's technically a loophole that is not gonna last. June import tax is going to change within the EU. No, I heard there was some changes within the EU. All this VAT on top everything you buy, even if it's $5. Oh wow, okay, yeah, that was pending really. Anyway. So that thing is completely out of tune. What happened? What happened? let's not use that. Could we use, instead of that, use the your 15, the keys instead, when you're on channel 2. Yeah, that's going to be easier. I don't know enough about FM synthesis really to mess up with the I can, you know, I can change the patches and mess with the attack of the carrier and the modulator and the sustain of or the depth and decay, sorry, but when it comes to actually affecting each of the individual carriers and changing the scale and breakpoints and that kind of stuff, it's probably something I'm not going to do, at least live. Maybe I need to teach myself some of that and mess with it, but I feel you can tailor some of the sound already enough with what I've been doing there. The cool thing about these is you can actually just use that VST Dext and change your patches there and actually just upload them to the Volca. So you can actually just tailor make them for a specific cover and then use the hardware directly. And that might be a better idea for me, at least, to do that, like as a way to learn about FM synthesis, is actually to do it in software first. Have a visual representation, because Dex would be handy. Like it's scary at first using Dext because let me load up just something here. Actually, we'll use it's in my head now. Because this doesn't look very friendly and welcoming, but you can actually see each of your operators here and tailor them. So this is one operator, and this is operator 2, operator 3, and then here you got your algorithm matrix that will pretty much determine which algorithm is being used and how. So if that is confusing, I invite you to just look at least intro tutorials on FM synthesis and have a look what the algorithm is, what the carrier and the modulator is. So essentially what you have is just a carrier signal. It's usually the bottom ones here, and it's being modulated by a modulator. So each of these can be a carrier or a modulator. Just you define your parameter, and then your let's just say it's 1 is your signal. Why are you loading and doing stuff here? Okay, 1 is your carrier, so it's your sound. Let's just say it's a wave sound, and it's modulated with a square wave that does whatever, like an LFO or something like that. So this is what you see here. You got your sound, your carrier, and your modulator is modifying this sound here, and then this is a feedback loop, that kind of stuff. So it gets complicated really quickly, and it's a dark art. FM synthesis, but yeah, fuck me synthesis. It's a really dark art, but it gets some fun sounds, like and really interesting stuff that it would be rather impossible to replicate with something a bit more analog, like with the subtractive synthesis like you have here, or even additive synthesis like the whatever the Vulkan modular there. Sorry, that's subtractive synthesis. So it's a different way to approach synths, but what's cool is all of these can actually be loaded into, apparently, I haven't tried, into a Volca FM. Yeah. So it'll be a more visual way to learn and get the some of the more finer points of synthesis than doing it hardware like that, with just awkward menus and things you don't really understand by trial and error. Anyway, I think as far as tonight goes, I think this is pretty close to what I was hoping. I was just trying to hope to get some sound coming out of these guys. So we're using 3 Volca FMs, Volca bass on, just for an extra bass. Could we use make some? So this is a Volca keys and Volca FM playing the lead together. I feel we could add something. More chords. But on the just when I put it away, channel 9 on the Juno 6, we just we'll see if we can get those. Yo. It's the MIDI file is it's the same MIDI file you'll find on KH Insider. The only thing it has some inaccuracies. So most of my MIDI files I would have corrected myself and use those for the covers. But it's the ones you'd find on KH Insider. So like the bulk of the work has been done. Do you know, that's a good point. Maybe next time I could actually do one of these on a MIDI track I transcribed myself in the past, like that other Outrun. It makes for a very good starting point. Like, I don't know, some people frown upon it, but my point is, why reinvent the wheel every time? So if somebody has made a good solid base for a MIDI file, usually they're inaccurate. Usually it's rare that they're or as I would like them. So I changed them quite a bit myself, but this one was quite spot on, to be honest. There's some of the chords and bass line that I wasn't entirely happy with, but other than that, I had very few modifications to do to this thing. But the Camino a mi amor, actually, exactly, that other one, that would actually be a good one to bring back, because I did the MIDI. I used the original, redid the MIDI for that, and maybe I could actually just bring it back to hardware. I think it was pretty much VST based, but it'd be an interesting one actually to do in that style, and just yeah. Why do you revert back to? Interesting. It keeps reverting to that. Those Roland synths, they're really fun, but when they don't want to play fair, and when they don't want to be your friend, they're really not. For some reason, it reverts back to that lower octave. Something being sent in the... Oh, then... I mean, yeah. That means here we can probably use more of a piano sound. I'm afraid to use... Which means here we could actually use that piano sound as well then, and free the keys to do something else. Fix VX, how are you doing, dude? Poop beep boop beep boop beep boop. So it's really odd. Whenever I replay the tune, it actually just resets all the parameters to that one first instrument, and I don't quite know why. Not that I have anything against that sound, but it's just a straight preset sound, which it's that sound, which it works, but ouch is right. Something that happens, and I wonder if it's a conflict between the Roland and they detune themselves. Really odd, and I don't know why it's doing it. If I work on one for a period of time, it can actually detune a couple of the others, which I don't know why. They're not actually connected together, so I'm not sure what's creating like if there was a maybe some sort of sync, which you can actually sync them together. But I don't need to because they're synced through that MIDI box over there. Sometimes they, yeah. How about this section? and so on and so forth. I think it works. I mean, for a first try on those FM stuff and having little to no experience really with FM synthesis. This thing, by the way, is just a chart of all the patches, the algorithm patches, and then there's a cheat sheet with some of the knobs and buttons and what they do on the Volca FMs, because I'm still not entirely completely familiar with it. Anybody that messes with FM synthesis will tell you that they still probably don't really know what they're doing, and will admit to that. And I certainly am not sure exactly what I'm changing sometimes, but we got the sounds we wanted, and it was actually cool to have in parallel having those Volca FMs, and in parallel having a few other normal synths type of sound, just as a complement, just to add that extra kind of bit of chunk. I'm not sure I need any reverb on this. I think it sounds probably best when it's yeah, I think this is best without any reverb. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to record a little clip. Let me see. Where is my would this work with this, and maybe change the camera? No, you see me, no you don't. Okay, let's just change. Ha, there you go. Let's get rid of the alert thing widgets, all the widgets. Go away, widgets. Just for the sake of having something like maybe a clip for Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, something like that. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. A Twitter clip, yeah, exactly. I'm gonna press record here. Let's go. God blast it. Forgot to press record. Let's do it again. All right, that's plenty for the purpose of a clip. I think that was 3 minutes. I think the limit on Twitter is 2 minutes anyway. The other thing I want to do is record the audio now, because I'm kind of happy with the way it is. So we're gonna record the straight audio coming out. Yeah, it's 2 minutes. Yeah, straight audio coming out. Calm down. Let's go back to this. Coming out of all this setup. Hopefully there won't be any skip. I'm gonna turn off my mic so I don't get any. I'm gonna turn off anything that's not directly plugged in or required, including my mic. So I'll be silent for a minute for a change. I can record it in chunks like that, but sometimes it skip. The sync seems to skip slightly, so I have to just do this little bit of trickery. Just bear with me. No. Okay. Zephyrin, it's the Passing Breeze tune theme from Outrun. So here I can start from here. Let's. Of course you're killing yourself now. Yes. Oops. Let me kill the mic for a second. And there you go. Ooh. Whoa. We got some skipping here as well. Let's not abide by that. Yeah, interesting. Sometimes, and I don't know why. I know why. It's because I'm not using a professional setup, but it's my audio sometimes skips, and sorry, my MIDI sync sometimes skips, and yeah, it's just. I think it's a case that I don't have a dedicated PC to do any of that. But really, like people who do it professionally would have a PC that they have to re-image, or a computer that they re-image every time they record a new thing. So they avoid any weird issues due to new USB installs and things like that. And they just this is a home setup. So things are going to happen, but we can work around them like that, like losing sync. We can just re-record and just phase one take into the other. So yeah, Zephyrin, it's the Outrun Passing Breeze tune that we redid from MIDI and just sent into hardware synth, this whole setup here, to actually replay an approximation of the original sound, which isn't quite there, really. The original one had sample drum. Actually, no, this is sample drums as well. So, oh god, I don't have an excuse. But yeah, it was a cool experiment. This is the first time I use Volca FM. So I have a stack of 3 Volca FMs, which are very Sega-like, because Sega used that FM synthesis on a lot of their games. And I have here just an extra bass for extra chunkiness, an actual VCO type synth, and 2 Roland synths here, and the TR-505 by Roland for the drums. It's that very distinctive 80s drum type of sound. You can make a soundtrack from a random series from the 80s with that. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And this is the end result. So, yeah. I mean, you know, all in all, it's just a matter of dropping the MIDI into these guys. But as you can see, I mean, that still took us 2.5 hours from scratch, pretty much from scratch, just to refine the MIDI, just find the right drums, because obviously these drum machines don't really follow the standard MIDI setup for drum racks, and just find, you know, doubling the chords, doubling the bass, doubling the lead, and just the end result here that I'm gonna save and probably render at some point, including distracting me yeah, and talking about Brexit and whiskeys and stuff like that. But yeah, it was that's exactly why I do this kind of stuff, is so I can talk and interact with people while I'm doing it, because otherwise it can be tedious and not fun. Like the covers, when I do the covers themselves with the instruments, I very much like to do that on my own, just because I sort of need to be fully focused on what I'm doing, especially learning the part and you know, just playing and arranging as well. Arranging would probably be something I could do streaming, actually. But the recording part, I'd like to do that. I didn't mean to press that button, but yeah. But but I very much like to do that on my own whenever I actually record the acoustic instruments. It would distract the hell out of me with everything. Yeah, I can't make a track that fast. Fair. Yeah, well, it's a matter. I've done 207 now, so the arranging part and that kind of stuff, I have that sort of dialed, and I can, I can relax and talk and interact with people while I'm doing that. I suppose I could do that recording the actual instruments, but it's just I do like to have my own headspace when I do that. The only exception is probably Irish music. Whenever I've been playing that for so long that I don't mind. I've done a few streams recording Irish music live. I don't mind doing that live, I suppose. I'm sort of rambling here, folks. I think we're done. I think there was a successful little attempt. Let's just listen to the final, actually. So this here is the final render. So we're actually hearing that straight from the DAW. Previously I was sending MIDI into these guys, and we were hearing these guys going through the mixer and straight into Streamlabs. So the Ableton wasn't really involved, other than just providing some MIDI signals into these guys. So now we're actually listening to Ableton rendered version of all this. So we took the signal from the mixer, we mixed all this on old school style on the mixer, on a physical mixer, and then send that into one track into Ableton. Ideally, I probably should record every one of them individually, but I think the whole point of this is to do it just hardware based, aside from the MIDI stuff, which is essentially just a fancy step sequencer, really. It's just with a bit more options, but obviously, it's that's what it is. I'm just sending raw data into this. Anyway, let's just. Actually, we could probably master it slightly. Let's spend 5-10 minutes mastering this thing. Sorry, I need to keep, every time I add something, I need to keep that real stream plugin last in the chain, otherwise you don't hear everything I add. Thanks for the follow, Big Jim Frog, something like that.
But alors you are French?
I don't know, Frog. Merci. Doesn't stand for a frog. Fair enough. Fair enough. My mistake. Désolé. This is FRG. Anyway, I think this is very, very customary and basic little EQ I've done here. Restream actually should be here. Sorry, you haven't heard the Ozone Imager plugin then. Let me. Actually, let me kill everything first. See what that. So compressor is applied. Very, very light compressor. I don't need much. French guy. Yeah, okay. Francis Roger Gérard. French guy. I like it. So then a tiny little bit of reverb just for texturing. Reverb on. Yeah, very short reverb. It doesn't need much, and then that EQ. Just to add an extra sort of FM type of sound, I lowered everything around below that 1K area, and then slowly we're just adding highs after the 2K mark. It just adds that sort of FM kind of feel, very 90s sort of EQ type of stuff. And because it's a big tune and it's a big arcade machine and it's big wide open space, I use Ozone Imager. I always use it anyway, but I use it and abuse it here. It sort of creates that live sound that you'd get, like if it was played sort of live in front of you, like out of an arcade machine that has that surround kind of feel. You know, the speakers are behind you or in front of you. Ozone Imager is really good for stuff like that, especially that stereoize mode 2. You have to tweak it slightly, but it's only 2 knobs, two faders, sorry, and just 2 modes of reverb. I rarely use this one. It's a bit too aggressive. I usually use mode 2. But I think in this case, this is what works. Don't listen to them, Big Jim. Here, let's give you a welcome. Okay, folks, I think that's it. I'm going to save all this. I will render it then into an MP3, and I'll post that on the Discord at some point, maybe tomorrow or at the weekend. I know that the Discord is actually just only available to people on Patreon, really. But and then I will post it, you know, on places like Bandcamp. I'll make a video out of that as well. I'll do a proper with this camera, good camera. I'll do a proper sort of maybe a pan recording or something like that. I'll find a format I'm happy. It's the same with the Vampire Killer tune that we did the last time. Was it last week? And I'll do something with those covers. I'm just not sure why yet, but we'll do something. I think the best thing is just to maybe just have the camera and record a few different angles of these machines with the blinking lights, just doing their own thing. And then fancy maybe lights in the background, something like that. I don't know. We'll use lights, and I'll film those and maybe have some of the MIDI segments just showing here and there. I'll just find a format I'm happy with it. So I'll post them at some time. But yeah, in the immediate future, I'll post them on the Discord server. Folks, that's it. that's it. Have a good night. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow in Banjo Radio as usual. Good night. I forgot. Let's rate somebody. Didn't think I was gone really. Let's see who's streaming. Have we anybody? Jackson Parody is streaming, or Joe plays violin. Joe plays violin is streaming. Secret raid. Yeah, it's for secret people who are still here. Tell you what. Oh, Ro Paniganti. God, we got a lot of musicians. Let me just see what they are doing. What is the Discord, by the way? It's Patreon. It's for people who are supporting the channel on Patreon, and you should have got a link if you're on Patreon. If not, let me know and I'll send it to you. No, it's just I think well, Jackson. Let's just send people to Jackson. What's Jackson up to? Bear with me. Okay, let's just send people to Joe. Folks, thank you very much. And Joe plays. She plays violin and other instruments, and she makes loops and she sings as well. It's a very chilled, cool stream. Anyway, folks, have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.